What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and I'm getting ready to show a clip from my podcast, Gaming with the Broscast. Basically, my brother and I, we kind of discussed the whole Redfall situation and just kind of our general thoughts on, 30 frames per second versus 60 versus 120, and how we kind of feel about the current consoles as a whole, because maybe we feel like they should just be able to do this and not cut corners. So that being said, I'm going to roll the clip. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Redfall, they confirmed that it's going to launch at 30 FPS, but there will be a performance mode coming later that will, increase it to 60. And yeah, a lot of people were kind of pissed off about it. Xbox fanboys and obviously, PS fanboys are going to just
shit on it.
Yeah, they're gonna shit on it. But so I'm of two minds here. One thing is, and I don't know why it's this generation, but frames per second does not make or break a game to me. Obviously, like fighting games, you definitely want them to be at 60 frames per second. In first person games, obviously you do want that as well. But arcane games have never ran at 60.
What about Deathloop?
I don't think that ran 60 at launch, right? Did it? It's 60?
I thought it did.
I thought it was 30. I could be wrong, but so in those games, I thought all at the time, obviously they've had their enhancements for the series consoles, but I thought those ran just fine at the time. So I will definitely, while it's kind of, it obviously is a bummer, I think I'm definitely going to wait and see. I'm also not convinced about Redfall anyways as a game. Like I definitely want to play it and see for myself. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this 30, 60 frames debate, controversy, whatever you want to call it?
When you have a console and you call it the most powerful console in the world, you should back it up.
Yeah.
And
that was my other argument, is where, well, yeah, I don't necessarily think that it can make or break. Yeah, you do have Xbox coming out here and saying that it's the most powerful console in the world, and yet, and not just Xbox, PlayStation too. I think none of these games we've gotten, it's either a fidelity mode or a performance mode. Why can't these super powerful consoles, quote unquote, do both? Where's the ray tracing? Where's the 4K native that they both claim that they can do? You've got these rumors of PlayStation having a Pro next year, or maybe even this year. And to me, that's kind of like a spit into the face to the gamers. It's like, hey, these consoles are not as powerful as we initially thought. Here's a Pro. You want to spend $600 for what you should have already had? Here you go. I haven't heard anything about a more powerful like Pro for Xbox, so I'm just using PlayStation as an example. So I'm not throwing them under the bus, but they both came out as these super powerful consoles, yet we still have to pick and choose between performance and fidelity mode. I think that's nonsense. 3 years into these things,
it still doesn't feel like we've seen a truly next gen game.
There hasn't been, neither one. No. Returnal is what, the only PlayStation exclusive? PS5, that and Ratchet,
Clank, and then Demon's Souls. I would say Demon's Souls looks the best out of all of them. But that's
so like this year will be really the first true telling of what these consoles can do. With Spider-Man coming out and whatever. But then we have
you have Redfall with 30 FPS at launch.
I honestly thought Redfall should have just been delayed. Like, you just take the L. Like, you're putting it out between all these amazing games, and then Zelda is a week later. Like, that's kind of crazy to do. Like, maybe just delay it and wait a month and put it out with 60. But I don't know.
I think Xbox's release schedule is just so terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's always poor timing.
Yeah, I mean, you got Minecraft Legends launching next week in between all this, and granted, it's a different kind of game, but and then you're kind of sending Redfall out to die, and then we don't know when Forza's coming out, and Starfield is what, September?
September, I think.
September, yeah.
Yeah, which that should be fine.
Yeah, I mean that'll be its own beast. Like we don't have to, they don't have to worry about anything. Other games will kind of shift around Starfield, but
I don't know, man. I just feel like every single piece of press that's come out about Xbox has been bad.
Yeah.
Every gameplay showcase has been underhanded by some fact coming out, by some truth coming out, like the always online mode for Redfall. Like this game just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
You know?
Which, you know, all games are pretty much online only. You know, when Xbox announced that years ago with the Xbox One, and they had that big backlash, you know, here we are 10 years later, and, you know, consoles are pretty much online only at this point. So, you know, I think the way they announced it just rubbed people the wrong way, but, you know, here we are. But yeah, you know, as I'm not a big proponent of the 60 versus, you know, 30 FPS, and again, I feel like the game can run and be playable just fine. Like, you know, look at like something like Zelda, like that's going to be 30.
Yeah, but that's on 2014, 2013 tech.
This is true.
People were trying to compare Redfall to Tears of the Kingdom, be like, oh, well, you guys like 30 FPS games on Switch. Well, yeah, it's a Switch, and
yeah,
Tears of the Kingdom
2015
amazing.
tech, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The argument's annoying, but I'm definitely sided with people that are just kind of over it. Like it should absolutely. There's no excuse for it not to at this point with these powerful consoles. But thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the next video.